everyone. Happy St. Patty's Day Eve. I've got all my Lux out because I need Lux. Got my unicorn, got my shamrocks, and I'm excited, but I'm not going to lie. I am nervous about, not nervous, I'm excited. I am excited for the challenge of being a beginner again and tackling the gut protocol program. So I wanted to come live with that. Oh gosh. Nicole, can you help me out and make sure I went live in the Get It Done group? I just want to make sure I'm in the right place. Because I want to make sure I save it for the crew. I know Sherry's working and a couple people can't be on tonight, so I want to make sure I get it in the right place. Okay, perfect. We are in the right place. Wonderful. So
looks like you did go live, yes.
Perfect. So I am excited. I've got a journal that I'm using for this journey because I really do see this as something that's going to help me. And I've watched through the videos. I shared my plan yesterday, if you were in some of the message threads, that my plan to go through this program is to tackle this week as the investigator. I'm going to be investigating this week. I'm going to be telling and writing it like it is, writing down my fears, writing down my concerns, what I anticipate as struggles, and then also making sure to put a lot of time into my excitements and what I'm looking to gain and brainstorming some solutions. So I've got a lot of stuff written out already that I'm going to share with you and hopefully help you with your journey in that way. And in doing this and getting started, I want to share, like, one of the biggest things for me is that truly mindset and how you respond or react or think about something is going to be so critical, especially when you're tackling something new or something challenging. So the idea that what you could have the thought like, I can't do this program because my husband brings home Mexican bread. I can't do this program because they give too much free food at work. I can't do this program or get healthy because of XYZ in my environment. So if you hear yourself blaming a person, a situation, or the environment around you for your choices of what you put in your mouth, that is a warning sign that you're not ready to take ownership to it. Because if you are not willing to blame yourself in some ways and have that ownership, you're not going to be able to harness the power of making a different choice. And I say that in a loving way because it's not even like I get it. I spent years there. I understand how challenging it is. Sometimes I still get caught in the challenge of, well, I just, it was too much at my mom's and I just had to have, the piece of cheesecake and the cookies when I only needed one or the other. Like, I can still find myself in those moments. But when we're really kind of putting all of it out, we're taking the ownership off us. And so what a more helpful conversation, a more helpful conversation with myself in those scenarios is not, I can't make this choice or make this success or this progress because of XYZ around me. Changing that to, I haven't figured out how to go to my mom's and be offered 3 desserts and only eat 1. You notice the difference in that? Instead of saying, I can't eat healthy at my mom's because she has 3 desserts, I say, I haven't figured out how to eat healthy at my mom's. That makes it on me. The choice is for me to find a way to get creative and curious and solution to eat healthy with my mom. And so that is the change in the mindset, the change in your thinking that will help you go from I can't to I'm now succeeding in doing it. So we want to be really careful at what we're saying we can't do, because if we're saying we can't do it and we're blaming it on external circumstances, we lose our power. And anything we give our power away on, we will not make progress on. So it's very much mindset, and whatever you say is right. Whatever you say, whatever you do is correct in those situations. So I want to encourage you that if you're restarting for spring, your health journey, if you've been here and you're backing around, being, quiet on the wall and you're feeling like a restart or a refresh or you feel stuck because of all these things in your external environment or things that are coming at you, try taking some ownership on it and what you can control, and make the choice what you can control. And that will give you the reins to take control. So that being said, I had to use some of that curiosity that we talked about 2 weeks ago and ask some of those questions to myself and really get creative with some ways to brainstorm around the things I know are going to happen. I know there are going to be days that I don't wanna, that I just want to eat the cake because we're at my mom's. I know Easter is coming on April 17th. So if I don't start my full day one until March 28th, and I'm not supposed to have added sugar for 30 days, Easter falls mid-central to it. So I know the challenge of Easter is going to come into it. I know I'm going to be going back to the office April 1st, and that's going to add some struggles as far as free food coming into the office. It's going to add some challenges as far as making sure my meal prep is completely done. And what do I do if I get stuck at work or get stuck on the road coming home? And so there's things that I know are going to happen. Not going to want to do it. I'm going to have cravings. I'm going to have temptations. I'm going to have things happen out of my control. And so the first thing, and I love that Autumn said this in week 1, she said, I wrote it down. I thought I wrote it down. I didn't write it down. But she said in week 1, she's like, allow yourself to be a beginner. Oh, she said, it's okay to stumble. It's okay to not be perfect. That it's going to be a challenge. This is a challenging thing. And you're not going to make progress or gain anything spectacular without that challenge. So the encouragement of it's okay to stumble. So first, take the pressure off of perfect. Although you want to aim for 30 days without certain food groups to identify food sensitivities and things like that, expect that things are going to happen. I can prepare as much as I can, and I'm going to prepare as much as I can. And when it's out of my control, I need to be able to release that shame or guilt or frustration and keep moving forward, get right back to owning what is my next choice instead of letting it stop me. So, in going through the videos, so like I said, this week's investigation week for me. I'm just going to rewatch the videos. I'm going to keep making notes for myself. This Friday night, either Friday or Saturday morning, I'll be making a private message thread for anybody who wants to do this program, like completely do this program with me, to have some private, TMI conversations. There is a bowel movement chart included in the program materials. There are some things that are going to get real big TMI, which in health, there is no TMI. Like in our health, in our body, over 95% of our serotonin, our happy health, gut health is produced in our gut. So a lot of our mood and everything is all happening down there, and all that can be icky and tricky sometimes. So it's going to be just a private message thread. We're still going to have the value added to our group here and those opportunities, but we are going to have some more private huddles that are really going to focus in on having those private conversations that may be TMI or some people may not want to share with the whole group. So I wrote down there's 6 things in our first week that we're removing. And I'll say this is when Jen's fear button kicked in and my realization button kicked in. Because of the 6 things that we're removing, I didn't realize how much 3 of those things are 50% of what I eat frequently. One of the things that we want to take out is dairy, and I eat dairy between the plain Greek yogurt and eggs and cheese. I eat dairy at least 2 out of 3 meals a day. I enjoy a lot of dairy. It may be part of some of the issues I have and what I've been trying to break through and uncover. And so it'll be interesting to see. That was my first challenge of, okay, 30 days without dairy. This will be interesting. The next one was corn. I didn't realize how much corn comes into my life. And corn is an asterisk one. No, corn's not. The eggs are an asterisk one. You don't necessarily have to do. But so in your full program, it'll tell you exact food lists and things like that. But for me, in looking at that, I was like, even though I don't consume alcohol, I maybe have 1 or 2 glasses of alcohol a year, maybe. There are still things that come in. So that was kind of some of my first flags. Then my next thing is we get to enjoy 30 different plants a week. And whew, that sounds like a lot of different food. So my mind right away started panicking. I didn't find in the videos I've watched, the materials, I didn't find a meal plan yet with a shopping list. And so I'm like, this is going to be on me to figure out. I'm like, I hope she teaches me how. I hope I can rely on Michelle, and Elizabeth has some experience with gluten-free things from her family. And so I'm like, I'm going to be relying on the group. And I feel like a brand newbie, a big time newbie. Now, so this is what I did, is after I listened through, then I made a list for myself. I want to encourage you to put this in writing, because there is a connection between what you write out and what your brain starts to process and work towards. And there's power in writing it out. It's science. We talked about it, if not last Wednesday, the Wednesday before. There's science behind it. So I wrote out my fears. I wrote out my excitements, because I'm not going to focus on just the negative. There's a lot of positive that can come from this program and from our health journey. So we want to make sure we get both of those things written out. So in being honest, like sharing some of my fears was, the no meal plan yet. I have to add on to that back to office. And the prep or temptation that'll be involved there. The don't want to feeling. If I have a long day at work in my job, there's some days that I have to work 8 to 8. And 8 to 8 can be a long day if you don't have anything else going on. And I have other things that I commit to, and a family and a me that is important, right? So, just those things coming up. Adding the detail to the tracking. There's several different trackers that go with this. And if I'm honest, I've really gotten good at tracking what I'm eating, but there's some extra steps to it. And I feel like that's going to be a challenge for a lot of us, is a lot of us aren't tracking yet. And this adds in some additional tracking levels. The nuts. The recommendation to take nuts out for 30 days. I didn't realize how nuts and peanut butter are in my food for the day. Again, every day. Every day there's either peanut butter with apple, or peanut butter with celery, or peanut butter with carrots, or peanut butter on Ezekiel toast, or you get the idea. There's nuts in my daily consumption. The eggs and the cheese and the yogurt. This is something that I have been using my blue container pretty religiously the last few years. However, I have still taken that handful of mozzarella or the Mexican cheese like that my husband cut up fresh to make quesadillas, and just had a handful every now and then in the last year. So it's not something that I've avoided for 30 days. I'm training for 2 half marathons. I have a half marathon April 24th, and I have a half marathon in May 21. So how will that come into play? It looks like plenty of food that I can eat, but I'll be working out a little harder than what she recommends for this program. So that's one of my fears. I think I shared about Easter and the silly added sugar foods, and things like that. So those are all my fears so far, and I'm going to keep adding to them as they come up, and I'm not going to say this is a reason to quit. And the reason is because of the excitements. I watched several of the testimonials, which I should probably get links and figure out how to put them down here in this chat so you can look at them too. But there was one testimonial that it's a 5-minute video. At 4 minutes in, it dropped me. And it dropped me because there's something that I have had as a personal issue since middle school that I've really not talked to. It's something my husband doesn't even know. And it's since middle school, I've had these red hot spots on my scalp that is like an open sore that comes. I've been to, I can't even tell you how many doctors I've been to since middle school, since it first started. The only solution, as recently as 2 years ago, updating with another dermatologist, trying more solutions, was to be on low grade steroids for the rest of my life and lotion 3 times a day. Can you imagine how your hair would be if you put lotion in it 3 times a day? That works if you wear a hat. For me, it wasn't a solution, so I didn't use it. I've spent thousands probably on different skin oils, essential oils, super green scalp toxins, different shampoos, prescription shampoos. Like I've really done a lot, and it calmed down when I started taking collagen 2 years ago, and it came off. Like I have scars from it because it used to come down on my neck all the time as well. When I started taking the collagen 2 years ago, it came off my neck and my ears, so I didn't get it here anymore, and it went to about half, but it didn't go all the way away. Well, I'm sharing this because at 4 minutes into that 5-minute video, the one woman showed what is on my head on her. And doing this program, she identified the foods that was doing it for her. And that just has me so excited and hopeful that I'm going to find what is triggering that sensitivity in my body. I'm excited to identify if I have food sensitivities. There's more than 60% of Americans that have undiagnosed food sensitivities. So that's something that I'm looking to just, experiment. I'm looking for less gas. Sometimes we make jokes and I say, oh, there's a duck in the house, and so we have some fun with it as a family. But I do have gas, probably more than I think maybe someone who is a healthy eater should or does. There's definitely some bloating that happens after meals, and I've just never taken the time to go back and circle those meals. So I'm looking forward to figuring that out. I think it's going to be more powerful motivation for my health journey. So I love To Be Mindset, and it teaches you Dinteo. Do I need this eating opportunity? And usually when I ask myself Dinteo, I ask myself, do I need this eating opportunity? Do I want to make it a weight loss week? Do I want to make it, I gain 1 or 2 pounds? And if I'm honest, being down over 100 pounds for 3 years now, gaining 1 or 2 pounds because I enjoyed the cheesecake is not a big deal. So when I ask myself, do I need this eating opportunity? A lot of times I say, yeah, I'm going to be silly today. But what this program is going to help me do is it's going to say, okay, Jen, when you ate that cheesecake, not only did you gain 1 or 2 pounds when you had the extra cookies and things with it, but it also made your scalp break out more. It also made your gut bubble up for 2 days. It also clogged you and you didn't go to the bathroom for a day and a half. Do I need this eating opportunity that will make my scalp break out, make my gut bloat up? It's going to give me more power in making the healthy choice. So I feel like pairing what I'm going to learn the next 30 days, 45 days with what I'm already doing is going to really help me get to that next level. And I'm excited about that, giving all that extra motivation. You say you want motivation. If you've ever said you want motivation, knowing the details and that data behind what it is going to do and affect your body is going to be a huge one, I feel. That alone is worth it. I'm excited to understand more about my body and how it reacts to things. I want to feel like that light, clean, fired energy. I mean, I think I do pretty well energy-wise, but what if it could be better? What if one of these foods is triggering something and I could have a better or more energy? So I'm excited. Also, I really think this is going to help a lot of people. I think this is going to help so many, and I'm excited to get to be a part of that. So I genuinely am excited about that as well. So I have those things written down. And then real quick, I know I'm kind of cutting it on time here. I started writing down solutions, and this is something I'm going to keep brainstorming. I'll put the pictures of what I've written down so far in the chat, in the comments here, so we can maybe have an open dialogue, keep this conversation going, and find something that motivates yourself. So one of the things that I decided to look into and do is some of my solutions for the temptations and the cravings and the Easter and other challenges at work and things is I'm going to treat myself to teas. I'm going to make a little investment. I'm going to do some research on Amazon. I know a couple people that have loose leaf tea businesses. I'm going to just check in some prices, check in some different teas. and I'm going to get myself a fun assortment of unsweetened herbal teas. I already do have some raspberry and some lavender, but I want to like look at some other flavors. Autumn did mention matcha green tea as a really great caffeine alternative to coffee, and how surprising that you can still have coffee 3 days a week. Like you can still have it 3 times a week. So I thought that was great. She didn't cut it all the way out, but I did cut my coffee out since Friday. She mentioned marshmallow root tea, which the name of it sounds exciting, but I'm not sure it's going to taste like marshmallows. But I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to get some, and also licorice root tea. If you know someone that has high quality essential oils, cinnamon oil is really great for cravings. So you can put like a drop of cinnamon oil on a tea bag and then put it in warm water and get that help with a craving. You can also just put a drop of cinnamon oil in water and enjoy that. And the same thing with spearmint oil. That's something that's going to be something that's like a refreshing, especially with spring coming. Get some mint. And then she also did recommend you can put regular herbs and things in your water. So I'm going to make sure I have a water bar of ways to spice up my water and have it feel indulgent. I'm going to break out all my fun mugs, all the things that are going to feel special, right? And I'm going to make sure we have pure maple syrup and natural good honey from the farmer's market from the local area, because you can use pure maple syrup and honey. And I'm going to take naps. I am going to use walking, dancing, and naps as like go-to solutions when I'm really thinking that I want or need something that I know is not going to help me uncover what's going on in my body. My plan for Easter is to just be open and honest. I'm going to tell my mom and my husband, like, I'm going to blame it on my elimination diet. I've heard people do it before. I've heard people say I can't eat that this month because I'm on an elimination diet. So why can't I? Why can't I say, I'm trying to uncover what's going on in my body. I'm not going to eat XYZ. Can you please not offer it to me? Can you help me be strong and not offer it to me? I'm going to ask to skip the candy gifts to me. Like if you want to get me a candy or a cake, I appreciate you wanting to make it special, but could you get me a tea or an eraser instead? I'm going to like, if you were thinking of getting me something, please don't. No, I really appreciate it, but I really want to uncover what's going on in my body. And I'm going to ask if I can bring some recipes from the program, because some of the recipes I've looked at already look really good, and incorporate those so that I can have that food. And I'm going to ask them to do the hard thing. This is something I've never asked my family. I am going to ask my family to remind me that I want to really do this for 30 days. And I'm going to ask them to remind me if I go for the cheesecake or the chocolate or the malt balls or the robin's eggs. I got to write down robin's eggs because I got to make sure I don't go for them. I'm going to ask them to tell me, you said you want to do this for 30 days. And I'm going to come up with a safe word. I want to come up with something empowering and exciting that's like a safe word so that they don't have to say, remember you said you're on this diet, because this is about like figuring out what's going on in my health and my lifestyle for sustainability forever to get me to the next level. I don't want to make it be a diet thing. And so I'm going to come up with some kind of safe word that's exciting. I'm open for ideas if you got one that I can just like say, can you tell me unicorn, if I start going for cake, that'll remind me what I'm doing. And unicorn won't work, but something like that. I'd like to help plan that. Reminding myself that it's okay to stumble. I'm going to be writing myself a lot of love letters, and I'm going to put them in an envelope that says break in case of emergency. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them hype letters. I'm going to make them, you can do this. Remember, you want to feel light. Remember, you want to try to uncover what's going on with your scalp. Just reminders of those excitements I had. And I'm considering giving some to my husband and asking him to just randomly put it out on the kitchen table. I'm going to be asking a lot from him and my mom that I've never asked before. And I'm just gonna, maybe they won't be willing to. I'm sure if I ask, like I've never asked, so I don't know that they wouldn't support me this way, but I'm gonna give them and say, can you just give this to me if I try to to be silly, or I try to say I don't care, can you just lovingly remind me that I'm doing something for me that I wanted to do for me? And I'm going to also keep them like at my desk at work, in my purse, in my Jeep, so that I have a reminder if I have a low moment or a hard moment. And I'm really going to lean into the message thread. I'm going to say, everybody, when you join me, I give you my cell phone number, and hardly anybody uses it. Hardly anybody uses my cell phone number, but I seriously mean reach out to me, text me, call me. If I can't answer, I may not be able to answer for a couple hours, but I will answer you. And that's one of the reasons for the private message thread. I want the private message thread to be a safe place to call for help in a moment. Like y'all, they're eating popcorn and pizza, and I really just want to go enjoy it. Help me remember what I said, you know? So I'm going to really use those text threads, and then I love what Nicole gave me. I love what she gave me. I wrote it down. I just added it to the last thing on my list. She said, you know, what's the worst that's going to happen? The worst that's going to happen is you eat the way you have been. And truthfully, I've been over 100 pounds down now with the way I've been eating. I have great energy, and I have learned a whole new relationship with food. I also know it can be better, and I've been in the same place for 2 years. What if these changes are something that my body really needs and that I really need? And so that is my plan. I'm going to take it offline in case anybody on Zoom with me has questions, and I'm looking forward to your takeaways. If you didn't already get the program, they did announce Revitalize and Optimize are sold out for 6 weeks because they had such a huge request for it. So you really right now could just get the streaming and the Shakeology. The Shakeology has the same prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes that are in Revitalize and Optimize, but Revitalize and Optimize just have a lot more concentrated. They're also seeking out some alternate over-the-counter possible solutions from Amazon or somewhere to kind of give us ideas of where we could get those supplements if we really want them and we couldn't get them. So they're working with their dietitians and nutritionists to like source out some other options while we're sold out. But so if you saw that, that's something that's in the works. But if you didn't get the streaming program yet, you can get the streaming program. And then it comes with the workouts as well. But I encourage you to do it. And if you want in the private message thread that we're going to have, that's going to help us have those extra gut special conversations and private things for just us, make sure to comment on the post I made yesterday, or comment here, or text me or message me so I can make sure you're in those threads. And the idea is extra accountability. It's not going to, like, I am taking off my coach hat for this. I am being very real and honest with you that I'm a little scared of this, and this is going to be a challenge that I am openly accepting because I believe there's going to be so much good coming from it. So I'm not wearing my coach hat. I'm wearing my accountability buddy hat, because like I am doing this first time, brand new, like right here with you. I don't have any secret information. I have no head start. In fact, there's people that watched the videos before I even got off work yesterday. So there's some of y'all that are ahead of me. So I just want to encourage you that that's what I'm doing for this. I invite you to come along with me or use any of these tips at your journey where you're at. And I'm excited to see how this helps us all spring into summer, because right, spring starts next week and we're just going to keep blooming, and why not bloom ourselves? So can't wait to hear questions and talk to you later, and I will see you on the other side. Bye.